Off with team news for Sunday, first of all.
Yeah, I mean, we had from Spurs games, from a game against Spurs, we had Pedro. He had an ankle injury since Everton. He's been playing with that, and he didn't train for a couple of days, but he's back. He's training with us today, and hopefully he's going to be okay. Because he trains today, and apart from that, it's all good. Yeah.
Winston Reid, of course, is suspended. He's been central to the new formation that you've taken. Will you have to set up differently now that he's not there for Sunday?
Well, he's been instrumental. He played really good, not only against Spurs, but since we changed the system, he's been really good in that central role of three defenders. But already he didn't play. He was suspended for a game against Stoke, and so we have players that we can put in that position without changing the system. Also, we can change the system if we want, but there is no need just because Winston is not playing for us to change the system we are playing.
Slaven, there has been speculation about your future here in the past week, in the past couple of weeks. What have the owners said to you? Can you share that with us?
Well, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, I'm doing my job, and I speak to owners, mostly to Mr. Sullivan, regularly after every game, and in between if there's something like that needs to be talked about. And I feel support, and as I told you so many times, I'm concentrated on my job and on our next game, and that's basically it about.
You yourself, though, are you feeling pressure? Are you fearful about it?
I'm not fearful. No, I can't call it fearful. I feel the pressure, of course, because at the moment we are not producing, we are not delivering, we don't have enough points to feel happy and to feel safe. But then on the other hand, I see the improvement. I see the way we play. I see if we are looking at our last game against Spurs, that I see the team that is very hungry, very alive, and the points were there for us in a very difficult away game. So that's what I'm concentrated about, is to continue to play like this and also to improve, not to make mistakes like we done against Spurs, and that's how I take my job in good times and bad times.
The support that you say you feel from the owners, how important is that for you, given the run and the position in the table you're in?
That is important, but it's not the crucial. I told you so many times before how I look at my job or any manager's job, is that you are concentrated on your next few games that can change everything from bad times to good times, or from good times to bad times. So let's say when we were doing really good, at that time I didn't think about this is my chance for a new contract, because I have a contract. It's long enough. And so in this situation, when you are not doing particularly well, if we are talking about points, and if you are looking at our position on the table, I don't think about that thing. All I'm concentrated is how to improve the team and how to start winning, and how to lift the team up after the defeat, or how to continue the good run if you have a good run. That's basically that's how I look at my job.
Do you feel that the league position is reflective of the performances, and particularly the performance against Tottenham we're talking about?
Well, you can say. I mean, it's still very tight. With the win against Tottenham, we would have been on that day, I don't know, 12th or whatever. So it would change, but we are in a position that we are, and we can say it's like still early days, but we have to start picking up the points. We can say we can find like many other clubs that we deserved more, or we were unlucky, but the table, it doesn't lie. We are in a position that we are in.
I must ask you about Simone Zaza.
Yeah.
hasn't worked out for him yet. Are you still confident that he will be here come February the 1st once the window's shut?
It didn't work for him yet. I believe in him. He's our player, and it's not only him, but we need him and the others. But we are talking about him. We need him to with the help from the teammates, to start producing and to start giving us what we got him for. Basically,
is there a time where the number of games he plays triggers something that you have to take him on permanently, and when is that?
It does, but it's still not the time, He's got a clause, okay, I wouldn't talk now about the clause, but it's not now, I mean, the reason if he plays or if he doesn't play, if he starts or if he doesn't start last game or next game, it has nothing to do with that clause. It has to do only with his performance in training and in the games that he plays for us.
It's Manchester United next. They've had an indifferent start to the season, but they seem to be picking up of late. Do you still believe that you'll be playing a team that's going to contend for the title this season?
Well, for them, there's still enough time to catch. I mean, the gap is not small, but it's also not big that they can't make it in till the end of the season. Of course, they are showing two faces. We can say that they played good last night, and they are Man United, and they need points in the Premier League. And it's going to be very difficult and big game for them, big game for us, in a great stadium. So of course it's going to be difficult, but you can't expect any less in the Premier League games, especially if you're playing Man United away.
Final one for me. Steven Gerrard announced his retirement from playing this week. Do you have a personal memory, or what would be your tribute to Gerrard?
Well, he started playing when I was retiring, basically, or he played maybe one game if he came on for Liverpool when I played for Everton, but I don't think so. So I remember more of watching him playing, or when he played for England and I managed Croatia. I mean, if not the greatest, then definitely one of the greatest. But in every way. Not only that he was giving 100% in every game for Liverpool, also the quality of his game, the intensity of his game, skill, leadership, goals. I mean, he scored so many crucial and unbelievable goals. That is amazing. So, great example for every kid that wants to be a footballer. He was brilliant in every way, also very polite, very modest person. So true, genuine, world-class player and a man.
The nature of the Spurs defeat, how difficult was it for you to raise morale? What did you do after the game, going home? You must have been very low after that.
We were very low, I mean, and if you ask me about that game in 5 years' time, I would still be like, low, but we lifted ourselves up a couple of days after. The defeat is still there, but we have a great chance to make it up on Sunday. Of course, anytime, in any game, especially against Spurs in a derby, and especially in the position that we need points, it was a shock and it hurt, and it's going to hurt, of course, but are we over it? Yes, because we have to be, because we have a massive game on Sunday and then again on Wednesday.
Taking on Jose Mourinho for so many years, he had an aura, especially with home matches. His home record as a manager was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you feel that he's lost a little bit of that aura?
No, he didn't lose. I mean, did he lose it? No, I mean, he's if not the greatest, he's one of the greatest. I mean, he's probably statistically in last 10 years he's the best in terms of home win percentage or away win or titles, Champions League, whatever, domestic titles, is Jose Mourinho. But it is impossible to stay on that standard. So maybe that percentage is dropped now, but only if you are comparing with his percentage that we had before. But it's impossible. It's impossible to maintain that for such a long period. It was a miracle that he was doing that for 10 years or more. So if you didn't know about his record from a history, it would still be great, you know.
The thing about last season, when you went through a tough period, you had a number of players out.
Yeah.
You managed not to lose games.
Exactly.
And I wonder, with Arsenal and Liverpool coming up as well, are you looking at these 3 matches and thinking a couple of draws and I'll be absolutely delighted?
Yeah, but you can't count it that way, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, even before the game against Spurs, the point would be good. But we were looking even in that game to beat Spurs. And so that's how, of course, we want to take something positive. And we know it's going to be very hard starting on Sunday and then in Cup and then against Arsenal and then against Liverpool, but also against Hull and Burnley. And then it is a difficult league. That's why it's the most difficult and the most interesting game in the world of football. But if we play like we played on Saturday, and with avoiding those kind of mistakes that we done, and with a little bit of luck that you need in this league, I'm confident that we can pick results in every game.
Slaven, you talked about after the Spurs game, despite the result, you were still happy with the way that they played. So in general, do you feel happy with the performances?
In most of them, yeah, recently, definitely recently. Since, I don't know, since Crystal Palace game, it is actually, we improved a lot, even points-wise, but it is basically the start. It is the August and especially September that put us in this position that we are in, and now we need more points, let's say, than normal to get out of that. It is that run of games, I don't know, against Watford, then against West Brom, then against Southampton and Middlesbrough, that from 4 games we got only 1 point, that put us in this position. I said after Spurs that is like mixture of feelings. You're gutted, disappointed, angry that we lost the game, that we shouldn't have lose. But then, did it give me hope and belief in the team? Of course it did.